Good morning, internet. In fact, it might not be morning where you are. Anyway, small project time. What we got going on? Well, I'm actually going to make a tool. Well, some form of a tool. It's this thing. It's a sheet metal folder. Now, this one's from the shop. It's all right. Works quite well. But when you stick it in the vise, I don't know. There's just something about it I don't like. And when I'm not using it, and this is the most important bit, it's just in the way, and this is not good. I'm a tidy person. I mean, look. It is the essence of immaculation. So, I'm going to make one and I'm going to build it into the corner of my workbench. Yes, I like the sound of this, Colin. This is a very good idea. Righty-ho, been to the old metal shop, get a load of bits of metal out of their scrap bin. Now, I'm kind of going to copy the design of the shop bought one slightly. I could just chop that up and put that in my bench, but I would consider that cheating. And also, if I don't like this bench-mounted sheet metal folder, I've then chopped up the one that I've got, so I'll have nothing. So I'm not going to do that. Okie dokie, right, let's chop some bits up, offer them up, see how it's all going to go, put it together, and then kind of just work off there, really. Oh, look! This is Alan's metal! Oh no, Alan's metal! Okay, I've got a plan. Gonna get this bit of plate. Now I've used bright steel, not mild steel. Bright steel's cool because it's got square edges and not round edges, so it'll be a lot better for this. That's going to be fixed on the corner of the bench. And then for hinges, this is going to be our bending bar. So this will sit on the front here and that will lift up. And to make the hinges, I've got some little bits of bar. We'll weld them on the end of there. That'll be there. They'll be on there. And then, to give this a bit of strength, bit of angle iron, I'm going to weld that to there. But, unlike on the other machine, they normally have theirs like that. And it's slightly set back, which is a little bit weird, because you'd expect it to be flat. But I don't want to do that, because I don't want a nice sharp bit sticking out that I can catch my side on. So I'm going to try and put it on like this. And then, I might even like chamfer them off a little bit. Might make it look a bit more space age as well. And who doesn't want a space age metal folder? And then of course you need the bit which clamps down onto the steel at the top. So I've got another bit of flat. That'll sit on there, towards the edge obviously. And then that will go and weld in a fashion on the way to there. And then I'll make some pins that go through and then I can hand tighten them. But of course all this is going to sit over the edge. Right, first thing I need to do is to thread that one and drill a hole through that one to put these little Allen screws in. Okay, that's got my hinges, or my kind of, what do you call these things? Right, that's got those knocked up, so we've got like two that can swivel in each of them. Look, little Allen key disappears down the end there. They're nice and flush. We could cut that off, or we could stick a lock nut on the end of it. Right, next bit's a bit tricky, because this has got to kind of sit around about there, but obviously not sticking out at the end. It's got to be in here, so we've kind of got to carve a little circle out of here for it to sit in. Now we could just chop a bit out of a grinder and kind of weld it on, but I'm thinking a little bit more differently to that. And also I've noticed on the actual shop bought one, this doesn't sit dead, like the centre of this is not the corner of that, it's slightly offset, because when you lift it up, the base plate kind of comes away from the piece of work. This is probably kind of give the bend a little bit of a not such a tight radius, because I think if it was super tight, it would be a lot harder for it to bend. It might give you like a nice tight edge, but then thicker gauge metals probably would not be as easy to form in it. So we need to chop a little semicircle into this and then sink that in. How are we going to do that? We're going to use a tube notcher. A tube notcher, Colin, but that's for that's for notching tubes. They're quite versatile pieces of kit. I'll show you.
The story started when we got pulled over by the cops. The shirts in every corner 'cause we were Dutch. They found 4 grams. I said,
Okay, got a test piece in. Now we're dead in line with the corner that way, but we're about 2 mil above it in this way. So if you look at this little pointy thing I've got here, it kind of dead in line that way, but there's a little bit of space from top and bottom. Okay, let's swap that for a hole saw. See what happens. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, let's do on the proper piece, and then we can do the other little hingy bits. See if it all works and comes together nicely. They didn't find the rest. 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 No. I'm pleased with this. This is doing really well. It's got a nice hinging action. There's no play in it. The little gap here gets bigger like it does on the shop bought one. So I think next up we'll get our little strengthening bit, little angle, weld that to there, chamfer the ends off here so it's nice and slick. Do that, put some handles on it, and then we can work on the top bit. But that's good. There we are, got a hinge, got some handles. Right, next bit we're going to do is a bit that clamps the metal down at the top. So we're going to get this, put that on there, nib the corners out again, weld that on top of it, put some holes through it, and then make some like clampy, handly bits that we can tighten down. Then we can give it a test. And then if I test it and I'm happy with it, I can then route out the bench, and then we can sink this thing in properly so it's all nice and flush. Yes! I mean, look, it's nice and smooth. Can't get caught on it. Oh no. Right, here we are, first test. They are. Not bad, it's pretty good. In fact, it's the same as the shop bought one, which is what I expected. Well, I say what I expected, what I hoped for. Okay, there's a couple of things I need to do. This top piece, there needs to be a bit of metal underneath here which is welded to it, because when I pushed it up it tried to shove that back, so that needs to be addressed, and then probably the same again off these end hinge bits. Okay, weld a bit of metal on the front, fix it back with, get some proper knobs for these to tighten it down with my hands, and then I'll probably route it out, build it in. There we go, bench mounted built-in metal folder. I suppose it'd be rude now not to bend loads of bits of metal. Yes, Colin, it would be. Let's bend lots of bits of metal. I'm pretty pleased with this. It's coped very well. 1.2 mil steel seems to be its limit. It will do stainless steel, but you have to do it in shorter bits. But look at that, it made a good job of it. Copper, of course, really easy. Thinner metals, of course, that'll be fine. Now, if I was to make some alterations or some additions to it, I might put a little handle on the top here, so when these are loose, you can kind of pull that up to slide the things in, because at the moment you have to kind of tuck your fingers underneath, which is not impossible, but it's not ideal. And then also, on the thicker stuff, it could do with like another piece of angle iron, just putting on this ridge here, just so it's got like a bit more of a flatter edge to stick out. A little bit like the shop bought one, but of course I wanted mine to be flush, so when I'm walking past it, it didn't stick out too much. Whether I'll do that, we'll see. I'll see how I get on. Excellent! Now if you want to see more videos where I make tools, you can't, because it's the first one I've made, but I have made all sorts of amazing things. We've got, let's get in the middle of the screen, crazy inventions here, and epic projects here. And then if I put some fourth ones on, you might have epic vehicles and film and TV gadgets like X-Men claws and things like that. Woo! Boom! See you in the next video.